in the interview with Rock Bottom radio show and YouTube channel, Tuomas Holopainen, is it pronounced rightly?
Very close.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well
the keyboardist, main songwriter of legendary and extremely successful band Nightwish. Hi Tuomas, we will talk about your new double album,
Hello.
Human Nature. Hi. So, Human Nature is your first album since 2015. So why did it take 5 years to be released?
There were things. First of all, after finishing the previous album, I as a songwriter, but also the other members in the band, strongly felt that it's time for a little breather. We had been going on for nearly 20 years without taking any time off. And with creating art, you don't want to do any compromise. We could have gone straight to the studio, start doing a new album, but it would have been crap because none of us felt like doing a new album. So that's why we decided to take the first sabbatical, so to say, ever. And after that we did this nostalgia tour called Decades, where we mainly played the older songs from the late 90s, early 2000. And we also did an album with this other, I don't know if you can call it a project band, called Ari. After finishing that album, it kind of opened some floodgates, and I became really interested in doing another Nightwish album. But as before, it takes at least year and a half to finish a new album. So here we are in 2020 finally with a new album.
Yes,
but I don't think 5 years is like that long if you think about it. You just need to take your time, what it takes to create something.
Of course, and the result is marvelous. I heard it before this interview. It's a great album, and it's a double album. The first CD contains songs with vocals, Nightwish style as we know Nightwish, of course, and the second CD contains a long and mainly instrumental track. So could you explain this musical approach?
The original idea was not to do a double album. We thought we can fit all the material on one album, but since a CD only takes about 70-80 minutes of material and the album is 83 minutes long or something like that, we had to split it into 2 discs, which ended up being a brilliant decision because now it even makes more sense when you think about the thematics of the album. It's human nature, human dot, nature dot. And the first 9 songs are all about humans telling stories about humanity, human nature, about other humans, with a human voice. And then after that you flip the disc and go into the nature for half an hour for some instrumental escapism.
Yeah,
so that's the nature part of the album.
And if you see the first CD, is there a lyrical meaning behind this album? Is it meant as a concept album, or how would you see it?
I wouldn't use the term concept album, but there is a loose theme that's running through all the songs. So in a way it is thematic album.
But it was not intended?
No, at some point during the songwriting process I realized that the word human appears in all the songs and these are all somehow connected. And then I kind of realized that, okay, this song is about the power of human imagination, this song is about the power of human empathy, this song is all about music descending on mankind, this song is about human versus technology. So okay, let's call this album Human, but that doesn't sound quite right. So the last song, it's all about the beauty of planet Earth. The last song is kind of like Nightwish's love letter to planet Earth. So that's nature, human nature, And that's how we came up with the title of the album.
Okay, and there's the second CD, it's string orchestra included. I guess it's a London
It's actually
session.
the whole orchestra. That's the only song on the album that we used the whole orchestra from London.
Ah, yes.
And on the first 9 songs we only used the string section and choir.
I heard it. And how hard was it to bring in this London session orchestra? Did you conduct this orchestra, or did it somebody else? Because how hard was it to bring this orchestra to your music? Normally they do other kinds of music, I guess.
Well, we have been working with these same people since 2003, so it's 17 years already. We have done many albums with them, so we know the people, and the man who did the orchestrations, Pip Williams, has worked with us for the last 4 or 5 albums, I can't count. But yeah, so we know each other really well. The musicians and the choir, they know Nightwish's style, so it was a really easy process.
Okay. And yeah, Flor Jansen is your third female singer. So do you have to create a different kind of songwriting for Flor because she's got a different voice than Tarja or Annette? How would you see it? Is it a difference for you?
I do hear her voice in my head when I'm composing the song. Same thing with the previous vocalist. Of course, I always try to tailor make the songs for certain singers to sing. That's only natural. So when I was doing the vocal melodies and writing the lyrics, I constantly had her voice in my head. So yes, and especially on this album, we took full advantage of all 3 vocalists' abilities. I think this is the most singing-orientated album that we have done. There's a lot of storytelling, there's a lot of vocal acrobatics going on.
Ah, yes, I heard it. And so you're the main songwriter of Nightwish, so how far goes the influence of the other band members in songwriting and production? Do they have their own identity? Can they bring in their own ideas?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you can easily hear it from the albums. And it's really important for me as a songwriter already during the songwriting process to leave some space for everybody so that they can bring in their own personality.
Yeah.
That's what playing in a band is all about.
Yeah, because I thought because some songwriters have got strict ideas and no other ideas they accept, but in your case it's a little bit different.
I do have a pretty clear overall vision of all the songs, even before I present the song to the rest of the band. But I'm also very open-minded, and like I said, I leave deliberately some space for them to play in.
And how long did it take to write all these tunes? And are you frequently counting your ideas, and are you frequently working on new music, or did you do it after the last tour? Or so how is your working process?
I started brainstorming over the ideas and the stories, gathering ideas here and there in the beginning of 2018, if I remember correctly. And that was during the previous tour, the Nostalgia tour that we did. So after that tour, I did nothing but write the songs at home, alone in my own piece. That's something that I need for about 5 months. So overall, getting the songs together took about 1.5 years. And then the first demo recording took about 2 weeks. Then rehearsing, arranging the songs with the band took about 5 weeks. And then the rest of the year we spent in mixing.
Oh yes.
Yeah, about that.
And what's about the, how should I say, the artistical concept, or how should I say, the layout, the cover design? And did you create it by yourself? Could you explain the, how should I say, the line layout of the CD?
We used the same guy who's been working with us since 2006. He's called Janne Pitkänen, also known as Toxic Angel. And we started with the artwork already back in 2018. So also the artwork has been in the making for more than 1.5 years. Each song will have its own artwork once again. And it's quite the massive amount of work that went into that as well. But it's quite stunning, and we're really pleased with the result. And it was actually his idea to do the cover as it is. We had the title Human Nature, but we're a bit lost what to do with the actual cover. And it was his idea that how about we find out which are the oldest known symbols for those 2 words. And then we contacted an archaeologist who's Troy's friend called David Roll, and he did some research and sent those symbols to us. And we thought immediately, this is perfect. An album called Human Nature, and on the cover you can see the old cuneiform symbols of the words human and nature.
Oh, yes, artwork. This was the word I was searching for, yes. And how will you realize this album live? Which visual effects are planned? Do you have an idea in your mind? How will you realize it with background?
We're working on it. I just had a discussion with the production designer this morning because we're starting the band rehearsals in about a month, and he's doing new screen material as we speak. So the same old in that sense that we're gonna have the big screens, some pyros, and somehow bring the thematics of this album to the live show as well. Mostly with screens.
Ah, yeah, with screens, yeah. Okay, and the tour starts in China, so that's unusual, I guess. So what was...
It was supposed to start in China, but due to the coronavirus, we had to postpone it to October.
Ah, yes.
We just heard about this 2 days ago. The local promoter told us that it's impossible to go there now. Completely understandable. But the shows will happen in late October, most likely.
Yes, okay. And is China open for your music? Once I had an interview with Biff Byford of Sex, and I asked him about China. He said, we are ready for China, but China isn't ready for us. So how is the situation in China?
I heard it's really good. I think all of these shows that we were supposed to do in April were more or less sold out. So there's definitely something bubbling under. This is the third tour that we're going to do there, and the previous two were really good. So it really is a growing market, and there's a lot of space to be conquered there.
Yeah, great. And if you see your current lineup with Floor Jansen, how is she accepted by your fans compared to Tarja and Annette? Is there a difference in the perception of the fans, or is it for you always the same? How would you see it? Because some fans, they ask for the original singer, and you know, all these connections.
Yeah, no, it's a never-ending discussion. But Floor has been taken in really, really well, because she's been in this business as long as Nightwish has existed, since the late 90s. So people already knew her before she joined the band. And now that she's been a full member of the band for the past 7 years, she's won all the hearts over.
Okay.
Yeah, so just brilliant stuff.
Yes, and you have engaged Floor Jansen and Troy Donaghley in 2013. Yes, Kai Hato joined the band in 2015 as a drummer, so it's a, call it not new, but it's a different lineup than in the beginning. So how is the human climate in the current lineup? Is it a good and well climate? How would you see it?
At the moment it's really good. It's a marriage between 6 people, so how harmonic can it ever be?
Yeah.
But at the moment it's really good, and we've had our fair share of lineup changes in the past, but then again, in a rock band during 24 years of existence, 4 lineup changes is pretty average. So I think we're doing okay in that sense. But to answer your question, things are really good at the moment.
It's good. It's a good lineup. Okay.
Yes.
It's very good. And if you see now when you started lineup, which bands did you inspire when you started Nightwish for your own music, for your own artistical identity? And do you hear a Nightwish influence in the music of other bands today? My own musical heroes come from the film music genre. So composers like Hans Zimmer, Vangelis, John Williams, Ennio Morricone, James Newton Howard, the list goes on forever. So that's where I draw most of the influence from. Not directly, but the thing is that whatever inspires you, whatever goes under your skin,
it comes out when you create your own stuff and you're influenced by the things that you like. It's human nature.
Yes, it's good, and because there are many bands who sound a little bit like Nightwish today, I guess. There are some bands, I don't know if there's a direct connection maybe within Temptation, Delane, and Epica in some kind.
Yeah, we all sail in the same waters, so to say, but I do think that all of the bands you mentioned have a very strong identity on their own, and everybody's doing their own thing. But definitely this symphonic metal, possibly with a female vocalist, we were among the first ones. Not the first one though. I mean, we had our influences as well. Bands like The Third of the Mortal, Theatre of Tragedy, Therion, to mention a few. So we didn't start the genre, but maybe we took it to the next level.
Yes, of course. And you mentioned it, there are some great Finnish band, Therion, or other Swedish?
They're Swedish.
But Apocalyptica and some great bands. So what is the reason for this creativity? What do you think?
That's one of the big mysteries that I don't really have an answer. And we get asked that a lot. Why do Scandinavia, why do Finland produce so many metal acts?
Yeah.
I don't know. Somehow the personality of the metal genre and the melancholy of all it somehow reflects to us as northern citizens. There's some connection there, that the way we are as a nation, the way we are as people in Scandinavia up north, there's a big dark side in us. There's a lot of melancholy, but there's also a lot of twisted humor, and all that can be heard in the music. Something like that, but I can't give you a single answer.
No, but for example, Floor is from the Netherlands, and your pipe player comes from England, so it's no problem for them that they're not from Finland. It's one unit, and the different nationalities don't have any influence in your band activities. Or
no, they're bringing their effort into the band as individuals.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, of
Where
course.
they come from doesn't really matter.
That's the right attitude. Music counts. So do you have further information for your fans for the new album or for the tour?
Well, like we already touched the topic, we're not going to open in China, so the first show will be in Mexico City, and then it's going to be followed by a few shows in Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and the festival season. So there's a lot of opportunities to come and see us.
Yeah.
So
that's good. Yes, thank you, Tuomas. Yeah, for this nice interview. Have good success with a new album, with a tour, and all the best.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.